marketing, entrepreneurship, and all things small business. You're listening to the Jurassic Marketing's Triceratops. Now, here's your host, Justin Miller.
All right, Kevin, you know what subject matter we have for you today?
Wow. Like, hold on. I'm trying to look at that shirt.
What school? That looks beautiful. Everyone's missing out that's just listening to the audio.
Just when I think that you can't come up with a better-looking dinosaur shirt, you bring another one.
They find me.
I mean, that one is impressive.
Yeah. I mean, the cameras don't quite even know what to do
No,
with
the camera makes it look more blue than it is. It's purple. Or is that more is that lavender?
I like the blue on the camera better.
Yeah.
All right, so subject matter for school. Which one are we going with today? We got science, math, art.
Let's do science, I guess.
All right, the science of ROI. No, that doesn't work.
Science of ROI. Okay.
No, it's math today. Sorry.
Come on.
It's math.
I hate
Incorrect
math.
answer.
All right.
I don't,
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
I don't have buzzer. Sorry. No
Well,
buzzer.
that's still kind of a wrong.
Now, we're talking about response rates. So we're kind of continuing our December theme. Mm-hmm. We've had, we've kind of gone through every area of response and success and failure. But now we're going to go into the math of it, which is everyone's favorite topic. Yeah. We're going to talk about a 0.1% response rate that is 100% smart.
That little can be that smart.
That's what we're going to talk about.
All right.
That's what the notes say.
It does say that up there.
Yeah, they don't know that's up there.
Well, I mean, in front of us.
No, we're talking about when can less than 1% be good. So most people that have been around direct response for a while have heard the 1% response rate or 2% for direct mail. And okay, it doesn't mean anything. It may or may not be true. You may have 30% response and fail. You may have a 0.1% and succeed. We're going to talk about exactly what that looks like because the number itself, completely irrelevant. Doesn't matter.
I mean,
it's like a myth.
Well, yeah. It just matters, how much are we selling? Let's put some profit on the board.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really deposit the response rates, right?
Ooh, true.
Not very catchy, though.
No, but
if we're going to print that on the T-shirts, we got to come up with something a little better. So, but there's no universal response rate where this is a good one, this is not. Again, if you start reading some old school direct response stuff, you're going to see a decent list, but cold. You can expect a 1 to 2%. Maybe not. And it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Not to say response doesn't matter. It does.
So we don't measure response because it doesn't matter?
Oh, no, we got to measure it.
Okay.
Where were you on the last episode?
I know. I'm thinking that maybe we were taking another turn. I'm like, maybe I don't even have to care anymore. Turns out that's not true.
I mean, if you don't care, you don't care, but it's going to cost you.
Okay. See, that's the problem. I want to care. I definitely want to care.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of things affect response rate, obviously, like timing, list selection, offer, you got what media you're using. They all affect it. But we're going to talk about, when 0.1% wins. Because we have a lot of campaigns in play for clients where significantly less than 1% is a smashing success. And that doesn't mean it's actually easy to get that response either. So you figure less response, easier to get. Not necessarily, but you got to know what your number is so you know if you're winning. So, example, you have a heavy service component business where a client, $10,000, project $10,000, and heavy service, so there's a lot of variable margin in there. How much can we spend on marketing to get that client? Now, the answers are going to be all over the board. Mm-hmm. You probably have one in your head. I have one in my head. Everyone listening is going to have something completely different, and there's no right or wrong. It kind of depends on your cost of operating, but chances are you can spend a decent sum of money. Let's call it $1,000 to keep the numbers easy.
Okay.
So spend $1,000 to get $10,000 from a single client service.
Okay.
Would you do that?
Yes.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah,
I would too.
I try to do it 10 times a day.
Just too many clients. I don't like clients that much.
Okay. We'll try to do it 4 times a day.
All right, 4 times a day it is. This is a pretty typical number for a lot of campaigns we're running without naming clients or industries. And $1,000 budget, not a ton.
Okay.
It's not a lot of money when it comes to direct mail. Stamp 78 cents. Well, let's factor. We sent 1,000 pieces. To keep the math easy, let's say it cost us $1 an impression for a direct mail piece, which may or may not be true depending on the quantities. So we touched 1,000 people. We got to get one client. Guess what? That's 0.1% response rate. Sound easy?
No, but it sounds doable.
Now, if I was trying to sell a get-rich-quick scheme, it'd be you're going to get 1% response rate, 10 clients, 10 grand, 100 grand for the $1,000 you spent.
Do it.
You will be swimming in gold coins like Scrooge McDuck.
Ooh, and not sharing them with anyone.
Well, he lets the little duckling swim in
Yeah,
there.
but he doesn't let them take any.
Nah, they probably get head injuries from diving in.
That's true. He probably makes them sign a waiver first. Then they won't have to.
Those didn't exist in the 80s.
Come on. That's true. You could do anything. You go to anywhere and get hurt, and it didn't matter.
Yeah, we knew that diving into solid gold coins was a bad idea then. All right, so response rate, 0.1%. So what? So what are the numbers we should be tracking? I think that at the end of the day, that's what everyone's asking is what should we be tracking? And it is more dollar-based and less percent-based. So when we're judging success or failure, we need to be looking at dollars, not percentages. Actually, we look at both, but dollars being more important. So we need to know what is the lifetime value of the customer, because maybe it's not just $10,000 up front. Maybe it's $10,000 and then another 10 or 20 over the next couple of years. Well, that might factor in your answer of how much you can spend. We need to know break-even point. So on that upfront transaction, what's just the ROI for that? And does it offset the marketing, or do we have to get some of that back into money as well? Again, no right or wrong answer. Both are successful models, but you better know which game you're playing. We have a more qualitative judgment of response quality. So this is interesting. Because as a marketing agency, it's all about the leads usually. What do you want when you send the piece out? You want me to make your phone ring, right?
Yes.
Well, if we're judging based solely on that, what am I going to do as an agency?
You just get them more leads.
I'm going to make your phone ring.
Yeah, make your phone ring.
I'm going to get you garbage, though.
Well, that's true. The quality of the leads doesn't matter then.
Yeah. So we got to make sure that we're looking at the holistic approach here and have some sort of qualitative metric on it. Because number of leads, yes, important. Yes, track it. It's not the end-all, be-all. So careful about that. You get this in like the pay-per-call type marketing. So, $90 per phone call we charge you. We don't charge you anything to do what we do, but we charge you every time the phone rings. Well, then it's my job to make your phone ring as much as possible.
True.
And then you'll be complaining about quality of leads. So make sure you're looking at that. Cost per sale, cost per lead. So two different things. The lead is just the kind of the call coming in again, the identification of the thing, and then how many of those resulted in a sale. So if we're getting you fewer, but they're really good and they convert higher, that completely offsets the low response rate.
Sure. I see what you're saying.
So
bigger dollar value clients, you can be successful with a lower response rate.
Yeah, if they're bigger dollars, or they're just more likely to convert to clients. So in the previous episode, we talked about the call recording and make sure we get that.
Yeah.
So what if that process was just easier because it was a better quality lead?
Sure.
So if you all listen to that, it's probably the episode right before this, but I talked about putting permanent Christmas lights on my house and calling in there. And I was a lay down sale for that. They just had to answer the phone. That means I was a high quality lead. Mm-hmm. Like, if we can get you one of those, it might be worth 4 tepid leads.
Yeah.
So we got
less work to close it too. Less work to just less work.
I didn't even mention that. Like if I get you 100 crappy leads and in there is the one gold one, and you got a mind for it, and
read through it.
Your staff's annoyed with the crappy leads coming in, which they'll do a worse job then. But it's just tying up resources and mental bandwidth. I mean, I like simplicity. If you could just give me the sale, that'd be awesome.
Please.
I mean, Zuckerberg says we're going there eventually.
I suppose. Just give it to me.
But then you better know your math because you need to know how much you can spend. It's the same question.
You got to know your math wherever you're at. You're right. Whatever the equation is, you still got to understand all the parts.
Yeah, if I miss something and I tell the Facebook gods, okay, the client's worth $5,000 and I got a huge margin business, I'll give you $2,500 to make sure I beat out everyone else because there's finite inventory.
Sure.
And I don't know, it's digital. There might be infinite, but they'll have you believe there's finite inventory. But I screwed up my numbers internally of how many of those convert. I'm out of business quickly.
Yep. Quickly. Yeah.
And the Facebook gods did their job.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
They went on the data that I gave them.
That's true.
So you had to know that. I mean, honestly, in like agency world, and when I've bought stuff too, particularly in the marketing realm, the ideal sales pitch is if this gets you one more client, it pays for itself. So of course we try and make the math work like that for your campaigns as well. But you hear it all over. I mean, you probably heard it in your business, like ad rep selling something in a magazine, or I remember the Yellow Page ads, same thing.
We can just bring you one additional client. It pays for itself.
Pays for the ad for the whole year.
Wow. That's great. If that's all you bring me, then it's a wash. But yeah, but I have heard that many times.
Yeah, so you got to be a little careful with it. I mean, the usage of it is poor. It's to a point to sell something.
Yeah.
Concept is valid, but you better know all the other numbers as well. So how do we track these things? We have a whole episode on like the challenges of tracking, but the nuts and bolts of how we track campaigns haven't really changed. Tracking QR codes is pretty accurate. Not a lot of things accidentally scan a QR code that you've made up. Tracking URLs, which are a little tougher to get accurate. Maybe we'll have an episode on the technical reasons, but probably not. Just come to us and we'll talk about the challenges and avoid them for you. Tracking phone numbers are still awesome. You get some remnant calls from previous usage of the number, but for the most part, they're solid, and you have call recordings to back up what's going on. So you want to make sure you have those in play, and then you can kind of find the bottlenecks like we talked about before, and where to put resources is really what it is. This is what I tell our team all the time, our leadership team is, I need the right data. I need the correct data measured correctly so that I can figure out where to put resources. Because that's all I have is resources. I got money, time, attention, energy, effort, as Joe Polish calls it, TAMI, time, attention, money, effort, energy. That's all I got. Those are my tools. So I need accurate data to figure out where to put that. And if we're just looking at response percentages, I don't have the data I need. So we're a company, we run on EOS here. So we have scorecards. Every week we report certain metrics for every part of the business. And we've played with what those are before, because some of the numbers, when we decided to measure, sounded like what we needed and turned out to not actually be telling us anything. It was either a number that was like so rear view mirror looking it didn't matter, or it was not impacting anything. Like, oh, we got that data point, but it's not like impacting behavior or going to. Or we thought it was telling us something it wasn't. I wish I would have brought a specific example for that, but I'll give you a financial one that's pretty easy. So like profit and loss type stuff, right?
Yeah.
So year to date, profit and loss, net profit percentage. Sounds good, but as you get in the year, it becomes so weighted and hard to move that it doesn't tell you information quickly enough to make any decisions.
Okay.
So we added or switched to, in some cases, a 4-week rolling profit metric. So what happened in the past 4 weeks? And holy cow, that can swing.
Yeah.
But on like the year to date, it's moving like a little, like a 10th
Yeah,
of a
by
percent of
September, you're having a hard time moving that needle.
Yeah, and it's not impacting behavior. And we're like, we lost 1/10 of a percent, but the last 4 weeks we were negative 30%. Oh, that hits a little bit different.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we have the right numbers there. We want good numbers telling us good stuff. We want good leads, good client lifetime or project value. If you have both, that's amazing, but you don't have to. Like anyone that's like read I think it's in the Jurassic Marketing. It's probably in both of them, Jurassic Marketing and the Magic of Newsletters. It's the 40-year story of the client newsletter for the DJ business. And that was, we can mail this to someone for 40 years, get one referral and still break even. So we knew the number over there, and that was important in justifying the spend on that particular media. So how much can I spend? What's the client worth? How long will they stay? So client retention, this was another one that we toyed around with measurement on. And there were a lot of discussions on how exactly do we measure this? Which clients do we count? Because it became very skewed as well. Because if we took all the clients forever, we got some with really long tenure, like have been spending money with me for a decade. Mm-hmm. Well, that can very easily skew a lot of people that came in and went out the door within 3 months.
Yeah.
So the number wasn't telling us what we wanted it to tell. So we got to look at that, but we have to have some idea if they stick around or not. That is a big one. We're still measuring that in different ways. So that is, I mean, in a nutshell, that's it. Got to know how much it costs, how will they convert, how much they're worth, how long they stay, do they repeat. All those metrics way more important than percent response.
Makes sense.
0.1% a success? Maybe.
No, I see. Now you've convinced me that it's possible.
It's not only is it possible, most of the campaigns we run here are based around that. Now, people don't get excited when I tell them that. Like, what?
Yeah. Well, it just seems so low.
Are you telling me we're going to get 0.1% of 1%? I'm like, I don't know what I'm telling you you're going to get. I'm telling you that will be a success according to what you told me. A success.
Okay.
We'll be kicking butt.
All right.
And if I can get them over that hurdle and into dollars, then it's game on, and we can start building the business with them. And it does work. And yeah, I mean, that's ideal. I love that number because I do kind of believe that you probably are going to get 1%-ish, like randomness.
Yeah.
So I set it up in our favor. Like, okay, if we get 1/10 of that and the math still works,
yeah,
maybe over time you can figure out internally how to bump those leads to be worth 0.2, 0.3, 1%, 2%. You know, and this is cold outreach. We're talking, you know, if it's warm, it should be way more than 0.1%. But yeah, it's possible. Not only is it possible, we're doing it every week here. And you got to be careful that you're measuring the right things. So this one's a short one because it doesn't need belabored too much longer. But again, response rates matter. Dollar bills and profit matter more.
Makes sense.
This might be our year-end wrap-up. Actually,
yeah. This is.
I don't think we. I don't think we have a better message than that. Put some dollars in your stockings. Mm-hmm. And not response percentages. The kids would not be excited with that.
No, Dino Santa stuffing some dollar bills, some $2 bills in their stockings. Yeah, the kids would not be happy with that kind of response rate on their Christmas list.
We just fill them with pennies.
Can you? Well, hopefully you found some. Hopefully you got some because it's gonna be hard to come by.
So yeah, we're not talking pennies though. We're talking tenths of a penny. So there you go.
True. Then you need a lot less pennies in the end.
Little response, big results, cash in your wallets, setting you up for success for the next year. When we roll back into January here, assuming this is our last episode of the year, may or may not be. But when we go to January, we're going to talk about planning out that year, the whole year calendar, and how to bring your marketing stuff together to make sure you have synergies on that. It's hard to sit down in December and do that. I know a lot of people like to. We did our annual planning in November for that reason. I would encourage you to just don't glide, but enjoy some time, take some time, and then hit it hard in January, come back in strong, and we will talk more about how to hit the ground running in January on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Triceratops podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave your comments. For more information on how Jurassic Marketing Direct Mail can help grow your business, visit JurassicMarketing.com.